Hello, welcome to part 2 of the Thanksgiving weekend haul. If you didn't see my previous video, quick recap, I went to Salvation Army and Goodwill. They were having 50% off, and I went to a bag sale. This part is the bins. The bins always gets its own video, and my plan had been to go to the bins on Saturday. They open, our hours are 8 to 4, and I always get there before they open, and I stay pretty much all day. But then there was this bag sale that popped up. And the bins are not near my house. Neither was the bag sale, but it was about halfway or more than halfway to the bins. So it's like, all right, I'll go to the bag sale first. I'll go to the bins later. It's fine because you still get rotations and plenty of new stuff. The only downside was there were no shoes while I was there, even though I had asked one of the guys that works there if they were going to do shoes, and he said he would, and he didn't. But I don't think he's in charge. And it turned out that there had been some shoe bins earlier. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on. You already know that I'm in a real, I'm really upset about the whole shoe situation. So let's just not bring down the room and jump right into this haul. This item was very heavy. So of course I had to run some comps, and also it's Free People, and I don't do well with Free People. So I've just promised myself that it's not that I will not buy Free People, but I need to look up the comps on every single one of them. I probably should look more closely at sell-through rate. That's something I have not yet really forced myself into. Anyway, I like this. It's a size extra large, which is unusual. A very bulky, chunky knit cardigan with big buttons in navy blue, and the comps on this style were pretty good. There was a Free People shirt that I was going to buy. I looked at the comps and I was like, nope, not going to do it. This next item I found when I just pulled it out of the bag that it has a flaw. It's rock and roll denim. So this is that little thing so you can hang it on a door, and it pulled out and it made a little hole. With this pattern, I'm going to be able to sew that up. It won't even show. Obviously, I will disclose it. But first, I need to look up comps. I didn't look up comps because I just liked it a lot. It's like flannel, but heavier. So it's more of a shacket, and it's a men's medium. So I could totally wear this as a shacket if for some reason it's not worth selling. If it's borderline and then you add the flaw, then, I'll have to make that decision when I do some research, and I didn't. Occasionally I run into a piece where it's like, I just want to buy this. I don't want to look for a reason not to buy this. I was in a bin, and there were these two girls on the bin on the other side, and I heard one of them, she picked something up and said Patagonia, and then she threw it back. So I went to see what it was. I don't think it's a great pickup, but I picked it up anyway. They are a pair of men's Patagonia shorts. They appear to be in pretty good condition. They have the liner inside, which at first made me think it was a bathing suit or swimsuit or whatever, but I don't think it is. I think it's just running shorts. Well, that can't hurt. The first item I found when I walked in was also Free People. I did look this up. They're cute. If they had been my size, I probably would have just taken them thinking, well, if they're not worth much, I'll keep them. But I don't need them. They're a size 10, and they're a cropped pant with sort of a jogger bottom, a little zipper. I believe the comps must have been okay because I have them. I don't remember them specifically, but I do know that I looked them up. This, I saw it and I thought, this is really cute. So I took it, and then I looked at the label and I thought, ooh, that looks like it could be sold on like Temu or AliExpress. So I did a Google image, and I was surprised to find that they have their own website and that the prices are not low. It's Marvel Cowboy. This is a size large. Look how cute that is. Ruby Mountain Buckaroo. High-low bottom. French terry on the inside. Adorable. I was glad to have a reason to buy that. A pair of men's jeans. These are Hugo Boss which isn't a brand that I just immediately go, oh, I got to take that. But I liked this texture. I thought it was interesting. It's like a coated denim, and I looked it up, and I think they might be worth something. They're very wrinkled, have just a few spots that I hope I can fix. If this video is a little bit choppy, I'm working and I have to stop. I got a call, so I can't even just let it run, because I need, this is my phone and I need it to answer the call. Anyway, I have a tendency to edit a lot of stuff out anyway to make it shorter, blah blah blah. Okay, here's a brand I don't normally pick up, Laundry by Shelly Segal, but I thought this was really cute, and when I looked up comps, I was pleasantly surprised. It is a quilted jacket in a great sort of olive green, I'd say. Detachable hood. It's a size large, but it doesn't look like a large. Looked like it could fit me. Look at that back. Adorable. It needs a good lint rolling. Somebody had a white-haired pet, and it's got a few spots, but nothing terrible. I think that should be great. I picked up this hat, which I probably shouldn't have. I already have a Harley hat listed that isn't selling, but I was wondering if I should put it with it, and that maybe it would be more desirable if there are two of them. Otherwise, I could keep it. I've mentioned before, I like biker stuff. It's kind of cool, even though I would never, ever go on one. So we'll see what happens with that. I did pick up another North Face, but it is, and I didn't look it up. But it's an outdoorsy one. It's not like a quarter zip. That I'm not picking up. Nice jacket. It's not like to wear skiing or snowboarding because it's not insulated. But it's good for fall or, winters in Las Vegas. Size small. So I could wear it if I had to. You know what? It looks like it was supposed to have a hood, but there isn't one. How could that be? Oh, yeah. So the hood would have had the other half of the zipper. Oh, that's a bummer. That will definitely affect the value, but it doesn't show. So we'll see what I can find out about that. I wouldn't mind keeping that, except I don't need more jackets. I have so many jackets, but brown is just, I guess I could wear it with jeans. If it was black, that would make it nice and easy. Okay, this, I don't know. I feel like this could be good. This is All Saints, which can do well. Ugh, just made my hair all icky. And it's new with tag, and it is a oversized fit, super soft sweater with hearts all over it. I kept looking at it thinking, what? Is there something wrong with it? Why would somebody just donate this? It's the fabric content is pretty good too. Let's see, it is it's got wool, alpaca, and polyamide, and 3% elastane. It feels so soft, and it's a size XXL, an oversized XXL. I don't necessarily do well with plus size, but there was no way I was going to leave this. Oh, I got a bag. It is Lug Carousel. I liked it, and I see Lug periodically, and I never remember. I know I've looked it up before, but I never remember if it's good or bad. I think I didn't like it. But it's very clean inside. It does need a little cleaning on the outside. It's a crossbody bag, and when I looked this one up, it actually had pretty decent comps. So I threw it in. I had no luck, at least in the store, finding any information on this label, and I suspect that I wouldn't have any more luck if I looked now. The label says Mabel's. It's a Mabel's label. At first I thought maybe it was, how like knitters can have their own labels created. And it might be something like that, but it has a little TM on it, which makes me think it was more of a company, but I don't know. Look at this. It looks hand knit. When I look on the inside, it doesn't have a size. There's no other tag. It feels like, let me just double check, but I'm sure there's no other tags. No, and look at it. It feels like a cotton yarn, or at least a cotton blend. It's not wool, no itch. It was just too much fun for me to leave. I feel like this is something that vintage resellers who do well would charge quite a bit for this and get it. I'm not that person, so I'm not sure what I'm going to list it at, but hopefully it will sell. When I was checking my cart, finishing up, getting ready to go, there was something on the floor by my wheels next to between my cart and the other cart next to it, and it was this coat, which I ended up buying. Jean Paul Germain Paris, which is not like a big name. I don't know that I'd heard of it, but some of the comps looked really reasonable and good. And this is a nice coat with a button-in lining. I think it's a 40 regular. This is a silky fabric, not textured, not like a wool coat. Car coat length, maybe? I was hoping to find, coats and stuff, so I was pleased with that. I picked up these Columbia, like ski or snowboard pants. I am assuming they're men's, but I don't really know. They are a size large, short. They look pretty large. I would guess they're men's. I'm going to have to look it up and see what I can find out about them. I wish they weren't shorts, but I mean, there's people who need short, just like there's people that need tall or small or whatever. Okay, I'm almost done. That's actually pretty fast. So this is a Versace Parfum bag. This is a good quality bag. I bet this was a purchase with purchase, or you had to spend a lot to get it, because like it's lined, it has a zippered pocket, it has slip pockets, it has 3 choices for handles. It's got short handles, long handle, and obviously my guess is it had a even longer handle. So one of the things that I picked up, which I haven't shown you, is this, because sometimes I'll buy a bag or I have a bag and it's missing this piece. So I may use that for this, even though this is sort of a faux leather. I'm not even pretending to be leather, but like that kind of fabric, as opposed to this, which is nylon, and this, which feels like seatbelt material. I can include this if they want it. So, this weighs less than half a pound, so it doesn't cost very much. I find things like this, I throw it in because you never know when you're going to need it. So on one of the rotations, we have like 2 lines of clothing. Then there's hard goods over there. And then here they have things like luggage, sheets, blankets. That's where the bags would be. Like that parfum bag and miscellaneous stuff. It's not quite hard goods. Like it doesn't have the pans and the Christmas decorations and that sort of thing. But on one of the rotations, I went to the first bin that didn't, we all rush, and I went to the first bin that no one had gotten to yet. And the first thing I found, and it turned out to be mostly bags, which was really weird. And the first thing sitting right on top was this. So I was very happy about that, Ball Raven, because that's a good brand, and I've only had it once before, and it sold very quickly, full price. Just a lightweight tote bag, it's a handbag and backpack. I doubt it's worth a ton, but it's a good brand, and like I said, the one I sold very quickly, and I'm going to tell you about that one before I show you first let me show you this. Then I found this wallet, which feels really nice, and it's nice and clean. It's not perfect, See, it needs some edge work maybe, but I don't know if you can see it. It says Jimmy Choo. It does feel good. There's no tag or anything inside. Should it have anything inside? Probably not. I mean, it's just a wallet. But the stitching looks good. I'll do an image search and see if it looks like this actually exists in the Jimmy Choo world. Okay, so the only other time I found Fall Raven was at the bins in Santa Rosa. And this is what happened. I had done all the clothing. It's small, so it didn't take that long. And then I wandered over to the hard goods just to see what was there. And I had some time to kill because I had started talking to another one of the shoppers and she offered to drive me back to my hotel. So I was, you know, waiting for her anyway. And there was a bag sitting on top, clearly picked over bin. All the hard goods people had been through there and nobody had taken it. And I didn't recognize it right away, but it had the little fox. And I was like, what is that? That looks familiar. And I open it up and I see it's Fall Raven. So I don't know if they don't know about it or they just didn't recognize it. And it didn't look like an amazing piece. I listed it at $50 and it sold within a few days for full price. Well, I found another Fall Raven and it's the exact same bag in a different color. That one was peach. This one is obviously black, but it's the same thing. It's got this and this and this. And how it works is these can be pulled up for that. So it's got, you know, it's very versatile that way. But see, it just has that fox there. I'm like, fox, that looks familiar to me. So, and that was a picked over bin because at that point, this wasn't in the bag, the bag bin that I went to first. It was in the one after that. I started going to those bins first. There were luggage people there. I've never really noticed this before. Like they would get their hands on every piece of luggage. They didn't buy them all because they'd test them out. And if they were crap, they were crap. But there were luggage buyers, and then there were at least 2 people whose carts were just full of stuffed animals, which I've never really noticed that either. Maybe there were more stuffed animals than usual. I don't know. So that's it. I am pleased with what I got. Is it amazing? No, but now I have some inventory for a while, and I've got some things here that are interesting and will make me some money, and that's all that matters, right? I appreciate your sharing this time with me. I don't know when I'll be back because I don't know what my next sourcing will be. There's still periodically yard sales. If somebody runs a sale, obviously I might go to that. Otherwise, when I burn through most of this, I'll have to go back to the bins. All right. Hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.